Ciao, everyone. I'm Eszter.
I'm Alfred Matthew Zappala from Lawrence, Massachusetts. That's who I am.
Welcome back to our channel. And if you're new around here, welcome to You, Me, and Sicily, where we come to you on Sundays, but this is a little surprise midweek gift for you. So we're going to talk about the 15 things that may shock you when coming here to Sicily and Italy. But first, we're going to address an issue that a lot of people have been writing us, and that are some reports that vaccinated Americans can come to Italy this summer. That is our hope, everyone's hope, trust me, but there's been nothing official. The comment made by Ursula von der Leyen, who is the head of the European Commissioner, was either taken out of context, misquoted, something. There's been nothing official. And trust me, you guys, the second people, especially Americans, Canadians, our friends, are allowed to come to Italy, we'll go live on YouTube, we'll go live on Facebook, we're gonna paste it all over the place. Trust me, our business has been hurt by this. Of course, we want to be able to get visitors.
She'll do it even if she doesn't have any electronics. She'll just get a bullhorn and make the announcement. She'll go up and down the streets. Up and down the streets.
That's right. That's good.
Right?
Now, there has been discussion about a green certificate, a green pass, if you are vaccinated, if you can prove that you're COVID-free and all that. But it's not out there yet. It's not out there yet. And that's what's going on.
It's coming. Hang on.
It's
only
coming.
April 8th. It's only it's in April. Hang on. May's going to be better. Although May, we're still going to be closed down in a lot of places in May as this virus, as the virus goes through. But hang on. The hot weather's coming.
We're waiting for you.
Yeah,
all right.
We sure are. We miss you too. A lot of people we miss.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the 15 things that may shock or surprise you. And guess what? I'm such a lady, Alfred. You get to go first.
Well, our good friend over there wants to know about holes for bathrooms. 20 years ago, it wasn't as good as it is, obviously, today. I mean, really, Sicily has come into the 21st century. Every restaurant that I know of, every bus stop that I know of, every place of a commercial nature has a nice bathroom. As a matter of fact, they have very strict building codes now, especially for new construction. Now, maybe in the hinterlands, there's a back house or there's a hole in the ground where you can go to the bathroom. Back in the States, Eszter, I always thought that the word bakauzu meant bathroom because my grandfather and grandmother says, ora vai bakauzu, subito. I have to go to the bathroom right away. So I always thought that bakauzu. So when I came here, the first time I came here, I swear to God, right? I said to Massimo, I said, Massimo, I got to go to the bakauzu. He said, what? He said, I got to go to the bakauzu. It wasn't until I got home that my mother explained it to me. Alfred, bakauzu is back house. My grandfather was saying the back house because we were at the farm. The bakauzu. And funny. Believe me, I'm not the only one that they said that. So when you come to, I'll tell you what you could do though, and this is what you need to do. Bring some toilet paper, some flat toilet paper, and put it in your purse because sometimes there isn't any toilet paper. Okay? And what about the toilet seats? That's another good question. There aren't any toilet seats because people used to stand on them or squat on the seats, the plastic seats, when they went to the bathroom and they broke. So what the commercial vendors do is a lot of them, they just take them off. So you have to, if you want to stand, you could stand. But that's
a good piece of it. We had a lot of our guests come and say, Alfred, Eszter, there's no toilet paper. So that's good. So that's your number one thing. Okay. Number two, which is in no particular order, because when I came here, and you got to understand, before I came to Sicily, I had only read some of Alfred's books or have done some research. But when I came here, I have to be honest with you, I was shocked at just how beautiful Sicily is, number one, how rich in history it is, number two, number three, how much of an influence it had on history. I'm talking about battles that decided the fate of Western civilizations were held right over here. And then as I dug deeper, right, Archimedes is from Sicily. What? Archimedes, the Greek? Yeah, he's from Syracuse. The sonnet was started in Sicily, yeah, under Frederick II. So I am still, you guys, after all these years, 8 years, I'm still shocked at how much Sicily has to offer, not only history, culture, but also mere beauty. I still go, wow, right, Al? I still go to some new places and I'm like, wow. Remember last year was my first year going inside Saluninte. And I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, it still surprises me
Eszter.
how much Sicily has to offer.
She mentioned the sonnet. Okay, could I tell you my sonnet? I'm
Yes.
going to tell a sonnet song.
Tell me.
Sonnet story. I got suspended from Austin Prep as a senior because I was a wise guy, in any case, but we had a homework assignment. We're doing Shakespeare and we had to write a sonnet.
Yeah.
So I got in front of the class, I wrote a sonnet, okay? Would you like to hear mine?
Yeah.
Here's my sonnet for you. First time it's been recited in 50 years. It's from the recesses of my mind, okay? There once was a man named McAllister who had a tool of prodigious diameter. 'Twas in its size that dazzled girls' eyes. 'Twas its beat, iambic pentameter.
Good one, honey.
5 beats a minute.
All right, you get the next one.
Anyways, I had a week out of
What's-
school for that at
what's
Austin
gonna-
Prep.
What's the next one?
I got an F for the quarter too, by the way.
What's something that's going to surprise travelers when coming here?
When you buy bread, they weigh it. When you buy pizza, they weigh it. That's like a righteous thing to do, in my opinion. I used to
Fruits,
hate
vegetables. Yeah.
I used to hate going to the market in the United States of America and buy like American bread, for example, take it home, or even cheaply made, commercially made Italian bread, sliced, take it home, and in the middle, there's all these holes all over the place. You can't even make a sandwich, for heaven's sakes. Over here, it's a righteous thing to do, though. You take, you when you go, you say, I want a kilo of bread, I want half a kilo of bread, and they weigh it, and it's cheap. You see, that's the key to success. That's how you keep the masses quiet. Make sure that the bread and the flour has heavy government subsidies so the poor people, Eszter, can eat it
No, so let me add
cheaply.
a little bit to that is that also the fruits and vegetables, when you go to mom and pops, I always tell our guests, you guys, you can't touch it. You can't touch the fruit and vegetables. They have to weigh it and pick it for you, right? And that's probably some kind of a health issue.
Of course. Listen, this is not, an emerging country anymore. We're in the 21st century right now. There's a lot of highly educated people here. This generation is a great generation. This generation right now, we're our friends, Vanessa and Gabriella and Katia and John Marco and all these other people. These people are all college degreed professionals, okay? And this is the generation that's going to breathe life, I believe, back into Sicily. Yes, there are ignorant people, okay? There are ignorant people. There are ignorant people in every society, but guess what? Cream rises to the top, doesn't it? Okay.
All right, so that was number 3. Number 4, and if I lose track, you guys.
Wait, but that was number 2.
No, you had number 1. I had number 2. Then you had
Number
the bread 3.
Okay.
I have number 4.
What's number 4?
Going on that bread theme, when you go to a restaurant, don't expect rolls and butter because you will get fresh bread and olive oil, right? So in restaurants, usually they don't have butter here. We've had guests say, what? They don't have butter? No, they have olive oil. They'll bring a little olive oil dip for you, a little bit of oregano, salt, pepper. You can dip your bread in there. So that's one of the things that may surprise some of you. I mean, of course, at your hotel, they'll have butter. They'll have butter at breakfast. You can ask for butter. But at dinner, at lunch, not really.
You have to pay a cover charge. They call it a coperto, which basically means in Italian, you're paying for the tablecloth and the bread, okay? So don't be alarmed when you see your bill and it has a coperto of €2 or €3 each per person.
That's a good one.
And that's really necessity because, and here's a big thing, Eszter, I was shocked to find this out. You're going to be hell-bent to try to find a female as a waitress. There are some, but here it's a male-dominated profession, okay?
That surprised me too.
I think the ancient or the antiquated thinking was the man provides for the family, okay? And to this day, most of the finer restaurants, you'll see waiters. You won't see so many females. Maybe in the smaller places, like I said, like I know at Piccolo Mundo, they have a couple, right?
Actually, one of our friends in Palermo from Sicily World, it's a great Facebook page that we're partnering up with. He said that his cousin has a restaurant in Aspra, and it's family owned, and the mother's the cook, and the two daughters are the waitresses. So it does happen, but you're absolutely right.
The small little mom and pops, of course.
Different.
Like look at Francesca and what's her name over there? The daughter. Francesca's daughter. Graziella. They cook their own food over there. They cook
and they run, and it's unusual.
And also Angela here at the Ortofrutta qua. Okay,
another thing that surprised me my first year, obviously things have changed, that I came here with zero Italian, having learned Portuguese. So I was speaking a mix of Portuguese, and I had studied Spanish in school. But I was surprised at how friendly the people of Sicily were, and we were able to communicate. I didn't even need to learn the language. Of course it helps, and I strongly encourage you guys to learn some basic words, but honestly, I was surprised at how friendly, how welcoming the Sicilians are. Of course, I'm always going to be a stranieri, an outsider, but the Sicilian people, their warmth, their kindness, that I didn't expect.
Can I say something? First of all, it's Eszter. Who's going to be mean to Eszter? She's the nicest girl in the whole wide world. On the other side of the story, look at me, okay? Public enemy number one.
Stop it.
When I go into a place, people
they
usually
bow.
No, people usually look at me with suspicion. You know, they really do. One person on our Facebook, he had a comment and said, Alfred reminds me of Edward G. Robinson. And I says, no, Eszter. Reminds me of James Cagney. You dirty rat. You killed my brother. Because Edward G. Robinson goes, oh, wise guy, eh? No, I'm a James Cagney type of a guy. But the suspicious to men.
What number are we at?
Who knows?
What, 5, 6?
Pick another one.
All right, well, I got another one. Okay. So you guys, some people were surprised by this. There's no spaghetti and meatballs. There's spaghetti. There's plenty of spaghetti. There's plenty of meatballs, spaghetti, plenty. But you don't get served spaghetti and meatballs in restaurants here in Sicily.
The biggest shocker that I found out was there's no such thing as chicken Parmigiana. There's no, I mean, you can make it, but you're not going to find it on any restaurant menu unless it's an American place that, and by the way, if you see chicken Parmigiana on a thing, don't buy it, okay? Because it's not going to be industrial grade. They don't have chicken Parmigiana here, right?
But I mean, they have Parmigiana. Parmigiana
is a different concoction.
Exactly.
It's got eggplant in it,
right? With the cheese and the sauce. All right, let's take a break and say hello to some of our friend. Leonard is here.
Good morning, Leonard.
Joe Marinelli. Are we going to learn about Sicily paying for 1 out of 3 days stay in Agriturismo See Sicily program? Is that a real thing?
Can I talk about that? That's right now. It's painted for Europeans. It's a bid to get the European community here, not the Americans or the out of EU people. There's been a lot of nonsense talk. Politicians open their mouth and they say something, but the only thing, they had a special last year that lasted like 2 weekends where it was €30 a night, okay? And all the Americans were like, all right, we're going to get €30.
We're coming.
It was only for, the Germans or the Austrians, and that's it. So it's very, here's how the Sicilians think, okay? Their money is in your pocket, okay? So they're going to want to take your money in such a way that when you go back, you're happy as hell that you paid for the experience. Believe me, it's not right now. It's not a reality.
It's only for the EU right now, and it's not even open. I mean, we can't even go from region to region. We can go from province to province in Sicily, but we can't go, for example, to Calabria or other provinces.
Our
Right, I
red,
wanna
zone, our
say,
red zone has been extended to
I
May
want to
5th.
say
We
a
can't leave
shout
the
out
house.
to Sean Lewis, the Mia Familia Facebook
I
group.
love
Bella
him.
ciao,
Great guy.
bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao,
Sean,
ciao.
how do you like my books? Have you been reading my books? I'm just curious.
Okay, good afternoon. No, we talked about the toilets. Okay, Peter Scipoletti, are you having lunch? Yes.
Hey, Peter,
lunchtime
thank you for
version.
teaching me the difference between an indeterminate tomato plant and a determinate tomato plant. As I recall, you said the indeterminate ones are the ones that are in pots and they grow wide, and the indeterminates go taller. So I've been down to the place 3 times to buy it, but because of the COVID thing, she hasn't been open, so I can't buy them. But I'm gonna buy some Pachino tomatoes, already stocked up and grown. And by the way, the lettuce is coming up. I don't know if I did it right, but they're about this big now. They're getting big. Pretty soon she can eat them.
Carolyn has a beautiful point. Nice baby ice. No ice for you. You're right. A lot of restaurants don't have them. I mean, a lot of the touristy places, of course, they'll have them, but usually they don't serve ice.
You know, it makes sense though, Carolyn, if you stop and think about it. Okay, when you buy a Coca-Cola, a glass of Coke here is profoundly expensive. Okay, it's not cheap like in the United States. It's like $3 a bottle. Okay, or even
a bottle.
A bottle. They dump them at the end of the summer. Okay. But typically in the hot weather, it's very expensive. So Sicilian's view is, hey, wait a minute, I just paid €3 and I want a whole glass of Coke. Now it's typically cold, but they don't want ice in it. Okay, the Americans the Americans, when they come in, like the Sicilians, are, yeah, well, how much? I'll get you some ice, because they know that half of it's water, and they're making some good money because you're paying €3 for.
Well, from my experience going to restaurants, they bring out the can, and then if you want, that big can, it's like $150 or something in Taormina.
Yeah.
And then they give you a nice. Okay, yeah. Tim is here from the UK. Nice to see you, Tim.
Tim. He's a handsome guy, huh? Look at that guy with that elegant little goatee there.
Oh my God, my nonna and mama said that.
Bakazu.
Carolyn says, you read up a hipster before you visit anywhere. Alfred knows how important it is. Exactly.
Caroline is probably at the top of my list, is one of my all-time favorites, because she's been with us on several group tours, but she appreciates it. She goes with the key idea too, Eszter, is going with the flow. You can't be an ugly American. I hate ugly Americans when they come here. Be like Caroline. Be nice. She's awesome like that.
And very kind to the locals, yeah.
And kind to the locals.
Do not think you are in the state Sicily in the way it is. You should embrace the differences. Yeah,
Caroline,
and
exactly. Right
Hazel.
on. You're exactly right.
And no ranch dressing, Caroline says. No. For
dressing.
That's a good one. There's no Italian dressing, ranch dressing, honey mustard dressing. You can buy them at the supermarket, but you're not going to get it at the restaurants.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm one of those guys that likes, say, for example, Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, okay? But I have to be honest with you. The Italian barbecue sauce isn't so bad. It's not bad at all. I hate the pickle. She loves the pickles. Anything that's green, she'll eat. I don't care what it is. But I like a sweet gherkin pillow.
Yeah.
The little guys, and with a hot dog or a hamburger, that's what they don't have them. They may look like them, but they don't taste like them.
They don't have the deal. Yeah.
No.
Now, when you went to get a hamburger that one time at that place near the mall, did you get a
Enjoy
pickle?
Pub?
Yeah. Did you get a
$15 hamburger?
Did you get a pickle?
No, I didn't get a pickle. But I'll tell you the truth. The hamburger was. Go to this place called Enjoy Pub. There's a little small franchise on the east side. They have the best hamburgers and also barbecued ribs and also chicken and salads. They're a little bit pricey, but it's very, very good.
Helen says, have you seen non-alcoholic beer in the stores? Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's all over the place.
That's it.
Yeah,
and you can, even at restaurants, you can ask. Speaking of bars, one thing that also, it didn't shock me, but it surprised me. There's a fair amount of malls in Sicily. It's not just your mom and pop markets and beautiful outdoor things. There's actual big malls, right, Alfred? I mean, like indoor and outdoor. There's one in Enna, the really big one.
Etna
But
Land.
about 20.
Etnaopolis. It's called.
Etnaopolis is another one.
Right.
But even near us, Zagra.
Zagra.
You know,
yeah.
you can
Portali,
go
Portali,
in there.
Yeah.
So that was a interesting
It's
thing.
you know why, Esther? Because the face of Sicily has changed. When I first came here 20 years ago, for me, I remember buying my first stuff for my first house. Massimo and I had to go 20 miles away to Mr. Bianco, to a store called Ocean, which was like the big market there. It was half of it was food market, the other half of it was like a merchandise place. And I bought a lot of my stuff at Ocean. Now there's a bazillion places. There's actually more malls here than in Massachusetts where I was around, and they're good quality malls too.
Yeah,
they're not junk. They're good.
Very
good.
In fact, Hazel was asking me about something, an American coffee maker, and I said yes, at the mall, because they have lot of those. The coffee makers. American
Mr. Boston? Oh, you're talking about an American coffee
a coffee maker. And I said, oh, yeah, at the mall. The regular mom and pops, you won't get that. You get the biglietti. Can't wait to visit Sicily next year, says John. Any thoughts on the €1 homes in Castiglione and many other places, actually? You take that one.
Okay, Castiglione di Sicilia, is that what you're talking about? In the province of Messina, in one of the borgs, is one of the most beautiful towns you'll ever see in your life. The view is spectacular over there. I've counseled many people, if it sounds like it's too good to be true, it usually is. I know plenty of people now who bought a house for €101, and by the time they got to like 80,000, they were like, hey, what's going on here? So it depends on what the town is. I guess some towns are pretty aggressive about it, but the towns that are aggressive about it are in non-desirable hinterlands. I mean, you think that you're going to have a nice free house in Taormina or Giardini Naxos or Trecastagni or a beautiful town? No. You're going to have one of those deals in a depopulated town, which means that it's hard to get to. It doesn't have any amenities or hardly any amenities because the citizenry, the young ones, have left. And typically it's the old people are left there. You need to be very careful. And the other thing is, don't buy a house unless you come in, look at it, hire an architect an engineer to go through the damn thing and make sure it's saleable. I mean,
yeah.
I get emails every day from people who are trapped now in property that they purchased, and now they found this, they found that, they found this. They measure 9 times and cut once. Measure 9 times and cut once.
Okay, I want to know where you guys are watching from. Leave me a comment.
Steakhouse?
And if you've been to Sicily, comment hashtag.
Yes, I have been.
Sicily. Let me finish.
The steakhouse.
Hashtag been to. You've been to the steakhouse?
I've been to the steakhouse.
Where?
With the boys. The boys from the Elephant. It's by the airport.
Where is it?
It's by the circle over there, by the bowling alley. It's
all
very
right.
good.
So where are you watching from? Hashtag been to Sicily. Okay. I totally agree. I was stationed in Germany, and I hated how my fellow American counterparts would act in Europe, just so square. Like, you don't go to Sicily without an open mind. Yep,
Yeah,
I agree.
Sean, I really think that people need to learn about it. If you watch our videos, you get a good idea about it. If you read books, our friend John Kahili, right?
Yeah,
writes good books. There's Gaetano Cipolla.
Mark Cahill.
Who?
Mark Cahill.
Yes, there are a lot of people who write good books on Sicily. Number one, if you purchase them, it helps them, and maybe they'll write another book. And number two, it gives you a background. And number three, these are the types of books that you could read several times over. As you go to the places mentioned in the books, then you go back and you reread what the author has written about the places, and you kind of compare it.
Maria is watching from Nietzsche, France. Ciao.
From where?
Nietzsche, France. Vai a casa. Vai a casa.
Go. Je vous aime beaucoup. Je ne sais pas what to do.
Okay, let me tell you about one other thing that surprised me. Lot of stores, including the pharmacies, they're closed between 1 and 4. It happens here. They close between 1 and 4. You got to be prepared for that, especially if you're, you want to get something and you realize that it's 1 o'clock and you have to wait till 4 o'clock. It's something that does happen, less so in the tourist areas. Obviously, they stay open a lot, but even if some stores in Ortigia, which is a major tourist place, they close between 1 and 4, Alfred.
Here's the thing about pharmacies, okay? There are no CVS pharmacies here. There are no Walgreens pharmacy here. In other words, there are no corporately owned pharmacies here. They're all owned by families. Now, what does this do? This keeps good people in the town who make a good wage or in close by communities, number one. Number two, they get to know you, okay? And far and away, number three, the prescription medicine here completely blows away the prescription medicine in the United States. And I'll just give you a quick for instance. I have a blood pressure pill that I take. I have 3 pills that I take here that the cheapest one in the States is $50 or $55 a prescription. Here, they're $6-7. I mean, it's profoundly ridiculous. The only thing that's more expensive here is ibuprofen, which they sell $5 for a 30-day supply, and aspirin, which is the same way. They put them in the blister packs. Now, if you're on a blood thinner, if you're on high blood pressure medication, if you need something like allopurinol for gout, which I don't have the gout, but lots of people have the gout. If you need a water pill, your name, write down the name of the pill and walk into a pharmacy and you buy some. Bring them home. You can save yourself a fortune. That's all.
And also those creams that you like to use.
What is it called? I've been using the last month the CBD.
Voltaren.
Oh, Voltaren gel. 2%. Yeah, the 2% Voltaren gel is the best.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what it's like, but they have it in the States and it costs $35 or $37 a prescription. Your mother had one, right?
Yeah.
Over here it's like $10.
Maria, born in UK, live in Nietzsche, family from Sicily, visited
Bravo,
Sicily.
Maria, bravo.
Okay, Houston. Sean is from Houston, Palermo, Alia. That's right. I just saw a question. Oh, this is an important question. Okay. How's the vaccination in Sicily going? So we're behind. And, the federal government had a goal of 500,000 a day. That's nowhere near. Sicily is penultimate or second to last in the entire country.
Did you hear what you just said?
Penultimate. I love that word.
What does the word penultimate mean?
He totally made fun of me yesterday.
What does the word penultimate mean?
He's like, what does it mean? Let me finish. Sicily is penultimate in the regions of Italy for vaccination. So it's slow. Now, here's something that Nello Musumeci, who's the president of the region of Sicily, he's really trying to accelerate things. And just this week, he started this thing where you don't have to make a reservation if you're 60 plus or 80 plus, because he wants to get people going. So that's what's going on.
I have 2 things to say about that, okay? The first thing I want to say is I'm not taking AstraZeneca. I went to my doctors. I finally got a letter from him saying this man can't take AstraZeneca. So now I have a letter saying I can't take AstraZeneca. I could take Pfizer. I could take Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. The question becomes, where can I find the damn stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the question.
Well,
where can I find it?
Well, first I have to book you an appointment, but we can't do it until May 5th because we're in the red zone, and getting a vaccination apparently is not an emergency.
But when you book an appointment online,
it doesn't give you a choice.
It doesn't tell you what they're going to shoot you up with.
I don't think they do in the States either.
Yes, they do. You can make appointments for this or that or this or that.
Okay. Anthony wants to know, how much are the average affordable houses?
It depends 100%, 300%, 10,000% on where. Okay? What's your budget, Anthony? And I'll tell you where you can go. On average, about 200,000 euro will get you a good quality 3-bedroom apartment in a suburban metropolitan town like Valverde or San Gregorio or one of those places around Catania. About 200,000 euro. Then on top of that, you got to figure in another 5,000 to 7,000 euro on top of that for attorney's fees, because here you have 2 attorneys. You've got the attorney that's going to represent you, who negotiates the contract, but you also have the notario, the notary. and his fee is typically between 2,500 and 3,000 euro. Then you have other costs. So the cost here are a lot more than they are in the States. But the good thing is that these costs are front end loaded because there isn't a property tax here. They have other forms of taxes, but there's no property tax as a general rule in Italy.
Karen says, my husband and I moved here from DC 5 years ago to take care of my mom who has Alzheimer's. We are in Linforte Enna and decided to stay permanently. Would be nice to meet you guys. Would be great
Karen,
to meet
I would
you
love
guys.
to meet you.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a great little town.
Leonard says, also restaurants open at 7 and aspirin you have to get at pharmacy, not grocery store.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, you can't get any over-the-counter medications except maybe toothpaste at a grocery store. You can get everything but prescription medication at these stores, these places called Pharmacies.
Yeah.
They can give you stuff, like a whole bunch of stuff, but they can't give you what the pharmacist will give you. And the pharmacists here are highly trained people. Most of them have medical degrees or a lot of medical training. They're not like some of the people that you see in the States. These are good quality people.
Leonard,
really.
This one is really good. Also, restaurants open at 7, minimum 7, and aspirin you have to get at a farm. Now, minimum 7, meaning in the summer, a lot of restaurants don't even open till 8 o'clock.
But in the tourist zones, they're open a lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
and they're open all day. There are a lot of restaurants open.
And a lot and plenty in Catania are open all day too, around the Piazza
You just have to know,
you have to know where to go.
The other thing I wanted to tell you guys about pharmacies that really surprised me is that a pharmacy is not just a pharmacy. It's almost, they even sell shoes. They sell like the Dr. Scholl's shoes. They sell a lot of
cosmetics,
beauty
vitamins,
products,
right.
Beauty products. They sell a lot of things that I wouldn't expect in a pharmacy. They have all types of promotional things, vitamins. So we love our pharmacists.
I started to use about 4 weeks ago this 5% CBD oil. Okay, based on cannabis that they sell it in a small bottle with an eyedropper, and you're supposed to put 5 drops on, like for my knees, right? So the first couple of days I put 5 drops on, and didn't really help me that much. Now I put 12 drops on, and my knees want to float. No, I'm serious. It's really helped me. This CBD stuff is terrific. I'm telling you right now. I endorse it. I really do.
Okay, I'm loving everyone who's watching from all over. We got
Cape
United
Cod.
States, France, Cape Cod, watching from northern Minnesota. Been to Taormina and Sicily in 2009. Plan to return in fall.
Let me talk about 1 second after
Mhm.
talking about that. You remind me, our trips. Okay, people want to know. Well, what about 2022? Okay, if you go to www.yumiandsicily.com, you're going to see our trips that we have for last year that we're going to try to run this year. Those are our cookie cutter trips. We do cookie cutter trips on the West Coast and the East Coast. So take a look at them just to give you an idea of approximately when we go. A few days on either side, depending on the dates. That's number one. However, we do plenty of private tour work.
Personalized, customized.
Two people, 4 people, up small groups up to 8 people. We'll do plenty. We do 3 times as much private work as we do tours. Okay, we have licensed guides. We have licensed buses and bonded buses. We have great hotels. We've been doing it for a long time.
Fantastic restaurants.
I'm hoping that this year, we're talking about, what about this year? What about this year? I just want to get a Christmas tour in. I love Christmas tours. I think God's going to smile on us and let us do a Christmas tour this year. I really do.
Does Sicily have medical marijuana?
It's just coming around. Yes,
There's
it is.
cannabis stores where they sell chocolate stuff, but it's like zero potency.
You can grow now, I think, 1 marijuana plant. But the local cops don't know that. Okay, they passed a law about 6 months ago, and you can even get a prescription for medical marijuana, provided that you can find a physician that's going to do it for you, because it's so new that it's still in the, whatever you call it, stage. Okay, here's what I do know. If you buy marijuana from an illicit dealer and you get arrested, your picture will be in the paper. It'll be your mugshot. When you get arrested for drugs, even like a couple of joints, your picture will be in the paper, okay, for everybody to see. So,
okay, Janet Lombardi is here from England.
Hi, Jan.
So everyone's well represented. I want to give a shout out to Thomas and Karen Gulati, who made a very generous contribution to our GoFundMe. And you know, our GoFundMe, I put the link. It's just a way to support this channel. And there's many other ways to support this channel. You could be a member of You, Me, and Sicily, our channel, and you get special perks.
What's that now? Wait, let's slow down.
Let me
What are
finish.
you talking about?
You get special perks
For
behind
what?
the scenes for being a member. And I only have one level up right now.
What's it
And
called?
it's $1.99. And
$1.99 what? Yes, come on, give him the right information. First of all, what's the damn thing called?
If you stop interrupting me, I can give the people the information.
What's it called?
Stop interrupting me.
Okay, what's it called? What's it called? I'm waiting. The people are waiting. What's this $1.99 called? And where do they find
you
it?
Stop busting my you-know-what.
We can't
So
say
in
that
any
word
case,
anymore.
why? False.
Okay.
$1.99. You become a member of You, Me, and Sicily. $1.99 a month. And if you go to don't leave this page yet, but when we're done, and $1.99 per month, it will give you special access to behind the scenes looks, some videos that don't get published, other little tidbits that I'm working on. Some
Is it
perks.
called like special
Perks.
membership? What kind of is it? Membership, highlighted membership? What's it called? Do we have a name for it yet?
Alfred, hush your face.
First of all,
Thank you. Thank
Hazel,
you.
First of all, I just jerk her chain because I like to see her spin her wheels. That's about all.
But it didn't.
She's the one that put it together, not me. She came and informed me about this. She goes, let me tell you what I did.
Are you guys on Patreon? No, we have GoFundMe
No.
and the members.
We're going to have this members only thing.
Joseph, great to see you again and looking good. When can we drive the RV across Sicily in the near future?
Where are you, Joe? Where are you, Joe? Joe Briefer? Where are you? Are you in the States? Wait a minute. Don't feel sorry for Esther, okay? She gets treated like a queen. The queen of Budapest happens to live in my house.
Shaking the table for crying out loud. Okay, have you ever been to Castellamare? Oh, let me tell you, it is one of our favorite places. When we do the tours out west, that's where we stay. We stay in Alcamo Marina, 2 minutes outside of Castellamare del Golfo. And in fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have right now a series called The Provinces of Sicily. Catania and Siracusa has been published. I'm going to do either Messina or Enna next, but the province of Trapani is definitely going to be in there, and I'm going to dive deep into Castellamare del Golfo. Love it there.
Great place.
Great place.
Great place.
All
Good
right.
food there.
You know the other thing. Yeah, thank you, Peter Scipoletti. Thank you very much.
You want to know something, Peter? She does deserve a medal. I mean, forget about me busting her chops all the time and her putting up with it. But there's just the stuff that she does for people. She's on her email all night long, giving out free information, free advice, calling people back.
Stop it.
She does all this stuff.
So can I say one
and
more thing?
nobody knows about it. She's a saint. You are a saint, buddy.
Oh, you just needed to say that to save you from after the show.
Dominus
after the show.
Eculum spiritu tuo.
All right, listen. Let's do a couple more of things that surprise us. We've talked about this on this channel before, but I have to bring it up.
What?
I was surprised. I think it was my second year here that we drove up to Bronte to do a story on the pistachios. I was shocked at how much trash was on the roads. It was disgraceful, and you know what? It's still a problem. I mean, they're trying. You know, this whole recycling thing came maybe 4 years ago, where you have to put the plastic one day, the paper one day, the bottles one day, blah blah blah. They're trying, but still, it's surprising to me because Sicily is so beautiful and it's littered We're trash. It's very
Garbage in
sad.
my house is my problem. Garbage on the road is Rome's problem. See, that's the mentality. But you get caught, you get fined bigly, okay? They're now putting up cameras. They have these young kids now. A lot of young kids are picking up plastic, those fresh.
Yes. Oh, there's a great group called Plastica Sicilia.
Yeah.
And they go around every province and they have events, organized events with volunteers. I ran into one. Remember, I ran into Ciao Francesco. Here's our neighbor. Want to say hi to our neighbor?
Questa è television di America ora.
Wait, can you see him?
Francesco. Francesco.
There he is. Buonasera.
Ok, bello. Ok, work ora.
Buon
Okay,
lavoro. We love him.
I love that.
All right. Alfred, stop the butt kissing. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait a minute.
Watching from
Come
Orange
on.
County, been to Sicily. What was the best way to send change dollars to euros? I think I remember you mentioned Bank of America, large cities, or Charles. Okay.
Right.
What was the best way to send? Okay, so here's the thing about that. If you're coming here from Connecticut, and I would suggest bringing right off the front at least $200, $300 worth of euros cash.
Euros,
first.
not dollars.
I said euros.
$200 is 150
I said euro.
euros. That's like a pizza.
You guys, did I say euros or dollars?
You said
I'm
dollars.
curious.
You said dollars.
I said euros. 200 to 300 euros. And then where do you want to transfer to? Let me know.
What is he saying over here?
She wants to
I want
know.
to remember you mentioned
What was
you
the
go to-
best way to send change dollars? I think I remember you
change dollars in the United States of America. You go to the Bank of America, and order them from there. Do not go to the smaller banks. What they do is they buy them from BOA. Go to BOA or, like you said, Schwab. Bring like maximum 500. Bring your debit card. But before you bring your debit card, inform your bank that you're bringing your debit card, and the same thing with your credit cards. And then use the ATM machines. There's 28 bazillion of them now, and you'll get the best exchange rate there. So I don't think you
That's
need to
good.
bring a ton of dough.
Mizio says the problem in the organization for the garbage and especially the mafia.
Yes, of course it's the mafia. Of course it's the mafia.
Joseph is watching from Slovakia, but I travel in my RV late September or March, then head back to. Everyone said I said euros. I did say euros.
They're all your friends. That's why.
They're all our friends. Will you stop it? Hey, if you guys
I'm
are
having
new,
a good time today.
I'm having a good time too. Sometimes busting my balls makes you feel good, so I understand.
Oh my God.
All right, so listen, you guys, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get upgraded. So you get notified when we upload a video or go live. And normally we go live on Sunday, but we thought that issue about the article saying that vaccinated Americans can come here this summer needed some clarification. Plus, we love visiting you guys. Love visiting with you guys. All right.
If you could change dollars in Sicily, back to Sicily. Yes, you can change dollars in Sicily, but it's far more expensive here than it is in the United States. I mean, all hotels, you can go to a good hotel and they'll change the money for you into euros, but there's always a 3 or 4% difference.
Exactly.
So if you have a lot of money, over time it can add up,
And the thing is that I used to do when I go to Budapest is that there are these places that change money, and you sort of Google which one has the best rate. You really have to find it. Throughout Catania, there's these little kiosks that change money, but you got to see because each one charge different.
You have to understand.
That's something you got to research.
Money changers, right? They've been around since before Jesus, right? They buy money at wholesale prices and then they retail it. They're just trying to make a living. Okay, that's what these guys do. So you're not going to get something like a bank, a large bank. You're not going to get the same, for sure.
Curiosità, do you have a direct water or a cistern?
No, we have town water, and it's very good. You pay over here to get a water contract. You don't just call up the water company. The first thing you do is you get a resident card. To get a resident card, you have to show that you have a registered lease. Okay, so now you have a registered lease, you get a resident card. Then you have to go about with the gas, the electricity, and the water. You enter into contracts with them. Okay, typically they're for 4 years or 3 years or 2 years, whatever the amount is, and then you have to go sign it, and you get what they call a Macca di Bollo. It's a stamp that you get at the pharmacia. Tabaccheria, excuse me, and you give it to them, and that's how you do it. And then they put your own meter in. Okay, they usually send you a bill. Like for the water company, they'll send it every 3 months. Okay, the electric company, they'll send it every 3 months. But at the end of the year, they send the meter guy around because during the course of the year, those are all estimated readings. And then the last one is usually like mine is usually like $600 in December. So now I've learned about it. The phone every month. The phone is the only one that's every month.
Jenna says, "I love to see you guys bicker. It makes me laugh." This is us like a normal. Janet,
it's not bickering.
It's having fun. It's busting each other's chops.
We're just, it's like, who can possibly want to put
Thank
up
you,
with me?
Puddin. I'm guessing you're watching from
She said,
Minnesota.
"Oh my God, you have all your friends over here sacking the things today. I wish I had a couple friends that tune in."
Oh, stop it! They're all our friends.
All right, give me another question. Another shocking thing?
Huh? What's another shocking thing for you?
Coming through the airport and paying, I think it's €3 to get your cart to put your luggage on, to take it 400 feet to the check-in counter.
€1.
No, that's €1 to pick it up when you come in.
Yeah.
You put €1 in. But when you go to the airport, it's more than €1.
One of the best advice Alfred ever gave me my first time coming here, he said, make sure when you go exchange money, somehow in Rome, get change. Make sure you have €1 with you because when you get off the plane, you put it in the card. I remember that 2014, you gave me that piece of advice, and I still tell people to do that.
I'm glad that you listen to me every once in a while. It's been 6 years now since you've listened to me.
8.
That's great.
Ok, mi ho fatto piacere parlare con voi. Ciao. We're not leaving yet, though.
What time is it?
Not yet. I understand. It's just it's no fighting, just talking.
Carol,
but you know what the funny thing is? I'm Hungarian. We talk with our hands. We're passionate. So are Sicilians. So can you imagine what this household is like when we both get passionate?
You want to know something? Talking? I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean.
Oh, good point, Peter Scapoletti. You also need change for public toilets. So a lot of places.
Yes, you're right.
A lot of places, but not everywhere.
That's for tips. You have to give them for tips.
But some places you do require, and I think the bathroom in Enna. When we go, wait a second.
Some of the auto grills you have to pay.
The one in Enna. I believe when you park the car up by the castle and you go downstairs, I believe that one you do have to pay 50 cents. But there's always someone standing there expecting a tip. So that's right. That's a good one.
The one good thing about when you see an attendant there is that they clean the damn things. There's always going to be toilet paper for you. See, that's the biggest complaint that we get is that there isn't any in the smaller hinterland towns. In the bars and stuff, that there's no toilet paper, or if there's like two sheets of paper. So that's why I always suggest some people even bring paper towels to put on the seat because they don't want to, get cooties or whatever you get there.
Carolyn says yes, passionately animated. That's
I'm so happy to see Carolyn. I hope she's feeling okay.
Well, I think it's because the time we're coming to.
Good. That's a good thing.
People. So I want to know where your family is from Sicily, if your family is from Sicily, or if not, because I know a lot of you over here just fell in love with Sicily and don't have Sicilian ancestors, just like me. Got into my blood, right?
Let's do one more shocking thing.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about the police.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Okay.
Learn about the police before you get here, okay? Learn how to say some basic stuff like, excuse me, where is whatever street you're looking for? Or help.
Scusa, dove?
Yeah, help.
Scusa, dove?
I've been robbed, or I've been mugged, or I've been pickpocketed, okay? Now, there are different types of cops. You've got the local cops, the villaggi, as they call them, the local municipal cops. They usually carry like a white holster, and I don't even know if they have bullets in there. All right. they're like the local cops, and I won't say anything bad about them, but they're like the local cops. The cops that you want to really, keep your eyeball on are the military cops. Those are carabinieri. The carabinieri are the handsome guys with beautiful clothing, beautiful cars, and submachine guns. Okay, you don't want to fool around with those guys, and you don't want to fool around with the fiscal police as well. Okay. Those guys these are all national military outfits, okay? And you don't want to fool around with, if you're on a boat, the Coast Guard.
You don't want to fool around with
You don't want to
cops,
fool around with
period,
any
end
of them,
sentence.
okay? You don't want to fool around with any. Be respectful to them. Have a copy of your American passport with you, no matter where you go. Leave the passport home at your hotel, and show them the passport. And then, like I used to tell my clients in Lawrence, play like Mickey the Dunce. Mi dispiace, non parlo italiano. I don't speak Italian. I'm American, okay? And oftentimes they'll let you go unless you've done something, drastically wrong. So,
Maria, we did an entire episode on Cianciana, and it's on our playlist called Explore Sicily. So make sure you check that out.
Agrigento, yeah, it's a great little town.
Yep. Julie says you guys are a little scary with the cops and mafia.
First of all, the mafia will never bother you, Julie. Period. End the sentence. The mafia does not bother tourists. Now, why? Why doesn't the mafia borrow? Because they want your tourist dollar so they can shake down the merchant. They're not going to shake you down. Okay. Who robs? If there is robbed, and it's not that bad. Okay, it's like any other city. Palermo Catania is like any other city. But who does the petty thefts are not the mafia. Let me say that again. It's not the mafia. Those are petty punks, petty criminals. That's who does that. And the cops know this, and believe me, they're all over those guys. So if it's a touristic area, you should feel safe, especially in Taormina, Cefalo, where else? Castellamare del Golfo. You'll see police like this. No matter where you look, there's cops
Hazel
around.
says not scary at all. I've been visiting for
right,
many
it's not scary.
years, not a problem. Mary Jo, ciao Mary Jo. My grandfather's family, Noche, was from Colesano, Palermo. Was supposed to visit last June. I'm hoping to get there next May instead. We hope so too.
Hope to see you, Mary Jo.
Okay. Julie also says, I didn't have any issues with cops, mafia when I spent nearly a month.
There you go.
No.
Bravo.
Yeah, no.
Although, Julie, again, this
Julie's
is
from Canada, by the way.
Okay, well, Canadians have money. They have that funny money, right? You
Funny
want a
money.
beer? Yeah. Anyway, what I'm going to say is the most dangerous place on a holiday is at the airport, especially if you're going to a big transportation hub like Rome, okay? You collect your bags, and then there's the door, okay? That walk between where you collect your bags and the door, you need to keep a 6-foot radius around you. If anybody even comes remotely close to you, stop until that person passes, okay? Because that's where most of the thefts occur. And also in the high touristic places, for example, the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
Yeah.
Those
I mean,
types of places.
in Rome, you're like sardines. You have to be careful in Rome no matter what.
Well, you have to keep 20 euro in your pocket, and that's it. Where you going to keep your credit card, where they can't steal from it, or your cashola?
Mhm.
I keep mine in my shoe. If they want to take my leg off, well, they must need the money, but $20, okay, $20. And the other thing is that thing, like I had said last week, that little catch-all thing over here is good.
Yeah. Good evening from Malta. Ciao.
Malta.
Canadian Charlie is here.
Hi, Canadian Charlie. Welcome. How's Malta doing? I heard you guys had some problems with the COVID down there a couple months ago, right?
Well, everyone is having
What are you laughing at,
issues.
Julie? Why are you laughing?
Because you and Canadians. I want to ask you something.
What?
When you first arrived in Sicily and landed in, you tell that story that every molecule in your body knew that you were home. In that period, when you first came,
Okay.
What was something that really surprised? Because you had been going to Rome, right? And we all know Sicily is not the North; it's very different. But from your perspective, what was something that you maybe had read about Sicily or researched about Sicily that, when you came here, actually for the first time surprised you?
Listen, I knew nothing about Sicily when I came. I came here to fulfill a promise that I had made with my father, who was dying, to come here.
Mm-hmm.
96. December of 96 is when he passed. And on his deathbed, he said to me, look it, you need to go to Sicily. Because I had promised my father, that was my father's father, my grandfather, that I would go when he passed, but I never did it. So now you have to go for me and you have to go for him. So what am I going to say? No? So I came right after the funeral when I came here, and I didn't know. I mean, I knew our Sicilian ancestry. I knew we spoke Sicilian in the household. I knew that we're from Trecastagni. I knew the general stuff. But the nuts and bolts of what is Sicily, the communities of Sicily, the different ethnic groups of Sicily, the culture of Sicily, the dialect of Sicily, the food of Sicily, I was a babe in the woods. And it took me a long time. I didn't want to leave, because once I got here, it was like, I feel like I'm home in a lot of respects, because in the States, I always felt like a round peg in a square hole. I didn't really feel there was something missing with my life. So Sicily completed me. It doesn't complete everybody, but for me, it did. Okay. But again, let me say this. I wouldn't be here today unless my kids, my 3 children, said, Dad, you go ahead, do what you want to do, come home a couple times a year, whatever, but, you belong in Sicily. And, we talk every day and so forth. But really, in the final analysis, I wouldn't do anything again. I mean, I would always come back here.
So you didn't answer my question.
What was your question? That was a pretty good answer, too.
But that was an answer to another question.
All right,
the question was, what was it that surprised you after having grown up in a Sicilian American home, after having read about it? But what was something that maybe you expected of Sicily and it was different, or an unexpected something?
The dialect was expected, and a lot of the old timers spoke the exact same lingo that we spoke in our home.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say to you. Sicily
did it surprise you how much? Maybe it surprised you how much home you felt.
Well,
how much at home?
I mean,
so there's your answer.
Is that a surprise? Yeah, that's
it's a surprise. I was surprised at how much I fell in love with Sicily so quickly. Yeah, that was a pretty surprise.
Did you fall in love with Sicily, Eszter, or did you fall in love with you dirty rat me? Which one was it?
Oh my God. I said a little girl, I would return to my ancestors' home village. My first time stepping into Montadoro, I was home. The feeling was like
there you go, Hazel.
Wrapped in a warm blanket. Yeah, that's so pretty.
Yeah. My mother.
Peter, I know. Great journalist. You didn't answer my question. I can't help it.
I'm a lawyer, for heaven's sakes. This way to the egress. All right.
All right.
Let's wrap this thing up in a couple minutes here.
All right. So, you guys, hope you enjoyed this little surprise visit on midweek. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. Is this a good time for you guys if we want to come again on midweek at noon your time, which is actually EST. It's 6 p.m. Sicily time. I don't know what it is.
It's noon time Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I said that.
It's 9 o'clock Pacific time. I don't know what time it is. What? It's 9 a.m. Yeah, we're 9 hours ahead over there.
Okay. Let us know if this is a good time. Love to see you guys here. Make sure you subscribe to this
Peter,
channel.
You're the nicest guy there is. I love
and
you, Peter.
We love coming to you. And thank you for your time. And we'll see you on another chat from Sicily.
We'll see you Sunday.
Arrivederci.
We'll see you Sunday.